Namaste.
Namaste.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the NENCID Friday talk, this talk program. My name is Jigyasha Rai Yangkhurung, an executive committee member of Nepal National Committee on Irrigation and Drainage NENCID. So I'd like to welcome you all on this 12th episode of NENCID talk program. NENCID has been organizing this talk program. It's a part of Irrigation and Drainage talk series, which takes place every second Tuesday according to Bikram Samvat calendar. Today's event is the 12th episode of the series. We will share the information regarding the 30th episode at the end of this event. So please be with us till the end. We are receiving many positive feedback from you for this program, and we are very grateful for your love and support. We hope you will continue to do so, and would like to request you to share this event to your professional networks to take this program to a wider audience. Now, we also expect your suggestions, comments, and feedbacks on how we make it even better. So please write to us at nencid.nepal@gmail.com. Now, before starting the main event, I would like to state some of the ground rules. Today's event will be an hour long. First 20 minutes will be a presentation, which will be followed by question and answer and discussion round. We request you to kindly mute your microphone to maximize use of chat box. Please ask your questions and comments and to express your viewpoints. And in case you need to ask questions verbally, please unmute yourself before speaking. Now, with this brief background, I would like to invite Mr. Tikaram Baral, Project Director of CMISP AF, who is also an executive committee member of NENCID, to moderate the session and to introduce the speaker. Tika sir, over to you.
Thank you, Jigyasha. Well, I think you have to move the slide from there. Okay, welcome to the 12th episode of NENCID. We are very grateful to Dr. Umesh Nath Parajuli, who is ready here to speak in the area of private irrigation operator under fixed term management contract. This is an approach that we thought that it needs to be discussed in this forum to seek the potential of exploring the private sector in the irrigation management. So next slide. So today we have a speaker, Dr. Umesh Nath Parajuli. Dr. Parajuli is a highly experienced interdisciplinary irrigation management engineer with over 35 years of experience. He obtained a PhD in agriculture and environmental science, focused on interdisciplinary irrigation management from Wageningen University, Netherlands in 1999. He is experienced in prevailing technical assistance to government institutions in overall project management and licensing with development partners, international community, donors, government institutions, and civil societies. He is also well versed in preparing master plan, formulating policies and strategies, developing monitoring and evaluation frameworks, gender action plan, capacity building, action resources, and knowledge system. He has extensive experience in planning, designing, implementing irrigation and water resource management. He is also well known with climate change and its consequences on the water sector. So we'll give 20 minutes for our speaker for his presentation. Then we'll open a question answer session. We will try to finish the program within 1 hour. So if you have any queries, you can post it in the comment box, or if you want to ask the questions, you can raise your hand through in this platform, and we'll give the opportunity to comment or raise the questions. So now I would like to request Dr. Parajuli to initiate his presentation and to limit his presentation within 20 minutes. Sir.
So thank you, Tikaram sir. So how do I go back to my screen now?
Jigyasha, you.
Okay. Okay, now.
Now we can share the screen.
Okay. So is this okay? No.
Yes, sir. We haven't seen your slide.
Okay, how I remove this? Got it. Okay. So do you see my slides?
No, we cannot see it till now.
No, you can't see.
So screen share bade garnu bhao sir.
Oh,
Maybe you should try again. Maybe we can.
it's not a problem. Okay.
So एकचोटि फेरि ट्राई गर्नु न सर
फेरि अफ गरेर बाहिर गएर जाने भित्र
हैन सर त्यो
सरको स्क्रिनै शेयर भएको छैन एकचोटि फेरि शेयर स्क्रिनमा सर क्लिक गर्नु सर
हो
हजुर अनि त्यो पछि विन्डो खुल्छ हजुर भयो सर देखियो
अहिले भयो
हजुर आयो सर
ओके गुड ल थ्यांक यू भेरी मच सो थ्यांक यू टिका सर एज वेल एज जिज्ञासा for introducing myself me. So today I'll be talking in this as an alternative approach of irrigation management, how we can involve a private sector. So I mean, when we talk about the private sector, people think that the businessman will come with the bag of money, but it's not like that here. The service provider will come with an empty bag, provide service, and probably go back with a bag of money. So it is something private sector means is not coming with a bag of money. So what I'm talking today is mainly as a concept. Actually, it is a research proposal that we prepared long back in 2004-2005 for initiating a kind of management contract of public irrigation system. But the same proposal, I'm adding some more analysis, some more data, and trying to little bit analysis as well. So let us look at here. I mean, okay. Now I will divide my presentation. There will be six different thematic area. First, I'll be talking slightly on the management status of JMIS, which is known to you. Then I will also be talking a little bit on the concept of PIO and its likely scope of work. What is really meaning by PIO here, private irrigation operator, and what could be its scope of work. Thereafter, I will also talk a little bit on the international and national experiences, what kind of experiences we have on this private management of irrigation system. Thereafter, I will try to analyze a little bit, not much, based on the for the viability of PIO as an alternative approach, the viability mainly from the technical consideration, financial consideration, and managerial consideration. Then, if we think that this is a good thing to look at it, then I will also have some idea on way forward, how we can go on this. So, do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are hearing you.
Okay. So let us start with the irrigation management, the present status. So we have. I'm talking about joint managed large irrigation system. This is not other small tubewells or farmer managed and all these things. If you look at our data, we have 36 joint managed irrigation system. Their area varies from 500 to 68,000 hectares, covering over 436,000 hectares. This is so much of joint managed system we have, and all these systems are managed under joint management model. When I say joint management model, the present joint management model is irrigation agency undertake the management of the main system with some kind of advisory support from WA, and WA undertakes the management and operation of the distribution system with majority of the maintenance support from IA. Even if the systems are handed over to WA, I see that most of the maintenance part is still undertaken by agency. So this is what the kind of management model we have. As you know, the performance is around system efficiency 30 to 40%. Performance is productivity is below 50%, and ISF collection is below 5%. This is known to you. And there are several reasons for this, but most of the reason comes on the management. So there are other infrastructure reason, water delivery reason, but the management, poor management is the major reason. And as a result of that, since last couple of years, we are talking about the several governance model of irrigation system. Some going to the board, going to have a different department, trying to have a management, multi-sectoral management at the system level, so different. So whatever may be the governance model, the system needs to be managed at the level. Whether you have a different department, whether you have a cooperative, whether you have a board, the system needs to be managed at the system level. So I'll be talking morely on the system level management with a private sector as a management entity. So let us look at what is the management contract. As I said earlier here, private sector is not coming with a bag of money. Private sector is coming with the empty bag, provide service, earn money, go back with a bag of money. So it's a bit different way. So a management contract is a contract where a PIO here I mean private irrigation operator, where a PIO is contracted to provide management service for a fixed period. It can be 3 years, it can be 4 years, it can be 5 years. That depends upon the things. So who could be the private? See, PIO can be an emerging professional team, or a professional NGO, or a management institution. Even in our engineering consulting firm can take up this role of PIO. So PIO doesn't need to invest capital cost. As I said, he will simply come with a empty bag, but with the knowledge in mind how to manage system. And the government will pay the PIO as per the service provided, which will be measured based on agreed performance indicator. The 2 performance indicator that will be the basis for the measuring the performance of the PIO is keeping the physical system intact. So the PIO will keep the physical system intact, and PIO will deliver irrigation water to WUA in time and space. So that is the basically 2 performance indicator. The system should remain intact and delivery should be as per the agreed delivery schedule. So as usual, government will administer the contract as in the other contract, and the ownership of the asset would remain with the government. So they will simply come and manage the things up to a certain period of time following the terms and conditions. So let's look at the management responsibility. What could be the management responsibility of the PIO? As I said earlier, PIO will take the responsibility of managing the main system, headworks, main canal, and up to the management interface structure. This is the sketch here I'm trying to show you. I mean, you see, this is the red canal is the feeder canal, or the principal canals, or the primary canals, which deliver water to the different blocks of system which are managed by the WA. All these blocks are managed by WA, and the red is the supply system. The red bullet is the management interface structure. So basically what PIO will do, PIO will simply take up the responsibility of agency for managing the main system and deliver water to the block at the management interface structure as agreed. So the PIO will, the WA will remain as it is. So PIO will only take up the responsibility of the agency and manage the main system. So there may be a tripartite agreement between irrigation agency, PIO, and WA for defining the water delivery service to be provided to WA by PIO. So we can have a kind of tripartite agreement between the agency, PIO, and WA. So WA will remain as it is. PIO will only manage the main system. that is basically managing taking over the management responsibility of agency. Let's look at what could be the scope of work of PIO. As I said, we'll operate the main system as per the agreed canal operation plan. There will be an agreed canal operation plan, and he will operate the main system as per the agreed canal operation plan. Will deliver water to WRI at management interface structure and record water delivery. This is most important. This is performance monitoring indicator 1. So he will have to operate the canal as per the canal operation plan and deliver water as agreed. That will be first indicator. Will undertake maintenance during operation. As we know, there are certain maintenance activity goes on during operation that will be taken care by the PIO. And will undertake repair and maintenance of existing canal and structure as required and upkeep the physical system intact. So all the kind of maintenance, regular maintenance, will be the responsibility of the PIO. So what will not be, PIO will not do, PIO will not be responsible for building any new infrastructure, rehabilitation of existing structure, and emergency repair caused by natural calamities. These aspects still need to be undertaken by the department, but the PIO will simply operate the system and undertake regular maintenance during operation. So these aspects will still remain under the agency. This is what I'm thinking. Now, let's look at the international and national experience. So do we have this kind of contract, this kind of private sector management of irrigation system? If you look at the literature says that such kind of things exist in large scale in China, where village government provide limited term contract to local professional irrigation management team to take over the management of the system or part of the system. This is what the FAO document says. It says it is in China, where the village government is responsible for managing the system. So they subcontract to some kind of professional irrigation management team. And recently there was a research, there was a comparative study undertaken by Mr. Wang and Wei in 2018. That research said irrigation system managed by PIO performs better than WA managed irrigation system in terms of infrastructure condition, maintenance expenditure, dispute, and farmer satisfaction with water delivery. So if you look at the experience of China, it seems that this thing should be more applicable in other parts of the world, also in Nepal. And we also have similar experiences from Ethiopia. In 2012, the government provided eight years management contract to a French company to undertake O&M service of one of its irrigation system covering 4,000 hectares. So that kind of experience we can find in Ethiopia also. And the literature said such kind of management contract is available in Mali and Vietnam also, but I'm not able to dig out the literature from Mali and Vietnam. So this is what is the international experiences that I see in the international arena on the management contract of public irrigation system. Now, if you look at the recent trend in advocating this kind of concept, you see, ADB in Bangladesh now promoting some kind of private sector management of public irrigation system. This is not exactly the kind of private sector I'm talking about, but it is not. It is something like something in between. They are establishing some kind of board, semi-private entity, and handing over the management to a semi-private entity in Bangladesh. And if you look at the Nepal case, in 2015, there was a very intense study in Bagmati Basin funded by ADB JFPR. That, if you see the recommendation of that study also suggests that the irrigation system in the lower basin, including the Bagmati irrigation system, should be managed by PIU. That is also the recommendation made by this GFPR study in 2015. And our draft irrigation policy, though this is still a draft, what it says, सरकारी निकायले विकास गरेको सिंचाई प्रणालीको सञ्चालन मर्म सम्भार व्यवस्थापन मध्ये आवश्यकता अनुसार कुनै एक वा सबै सरकारी निजी क्षेत्रबाट गराउन सकिनेछ. So policy is also more, it was open in 2000 earlier policy also. Now this policy is more clearly articulating provision of private sector management of public irrigation system. So this is the new development taking place in this area. So we think that we should further look at the possibility on this. Now, I would like to bring to your information about this kind of approach in Nepal. So, if you look at the farmer managed irrigation system, this kind of system is not new to Nepal. In many farmer managed irrigation system, this concept is they are being adopting this concept. Like if you see the Satrashe Fart, which is a 40-hectare, very close from end of Kathmandu Pokhara highway, they have adopted this system. If you see the Jogi Chaur irrigation system, 36-hectare in Kaski district, they have adopted this system. So in FMIS, they are not really giving this responsibility to a private party, but in FMIS, they are giving this responsibility to a household. What he does, this household person uses every day, he goes to the river, divert water from the source to the canal on daily basis, deliver water to farmers' field on agreed schedule, and maintain operate the canal. And farmers, what they do, they in turn they pay the operator a kind of fixed commodity. So in this kind of system, farmers even doesn't irrigate their land. It is the person, it is the operator who irrigate every individual's land, and farmers are responsible only for other activities like weeding, fertilizing, and all kinds of things. So this kind of concept exists in Nepal. Though they are in the small scale, the concept is still subletting or subletting the management or giving the management responsibility to somebody else. So this is not new. We simply need to learn from them and and translate this into a larger scale. So this is not new to Nepal. Now, I'll share with you a preliminary analysis on the viability of PIU. Based on the limited data that I have, I undertook some kind of preliminary analysis. This analysis is basically now focused on the technical aspects. When I say technical, it is mostly on the hydraulics and financial aspects a little bit, and also a little bit on the managerial aspects. Let's look at the technical aspects. We all know that our irrigation canals is a hydraulic system. No, this is designed for the design condition, non-scour, non-scouting velocity. This is the basic engineering we learn in the university. So when we say design condition, they need to be operated accordingly to maintain the design condition. So this means the operation does influence the maintenance and vice versa. Maintenance influence. This is known to us. So that means operation and maintenance need to be implemented in a holistic and integrated approach. There are several examples how operation influence maintenance and how maintenance influence operation. There are several examples. One of the burning examples that we have is sediment management. If you operate the system properly, your sediment load will reduce and maintenance become easy. If you maintain the system properly, and your operation will be easy. So that we all know very much on that. Now, in this particular example, I would like to bring to your notice about the about the two vortex. You know, I mean, Sunsari Morang is a burning example of sediment. We have huge sediment problems, and in Sunsari Morang, in 2000. During 2007, 1978 to 1968, when during the stage 1, two vortex tube silt ejector were built at RD 31 and RD 39.6. That is mainly to manage sediment. I'm not sure how many of us are aware of this vortex tube. If these vortex tubes are properly operated, sediment load will certainly go down. The report says that these vortex tubes operated well, but could not exclude all the sediment incoming. Now, I'm not sure whether these are, what I feel that these are not operating anymore. So the reason I'm citing this here is, if we operate the system hydraulically using all the available structures, regulators, ejectors, the maintenance load will automatically reduce. So the maintenance and operation needs to be managed holistically. So let's look at how we manage the operation and maintenance at present. At present, we manage the canal operation through a seasonal operators. They are hired on a fixed term contract basis, and we undertake the maintenance by a civil work contractor, also hired on a fixed term contract basis. But you see, the operators are never made responsible for maintenance, and a maintenance gang never made responsible for operation. So if we agree on a holistic approach, why not outsource both the function to a one party? So if we can do that, the party will operate the system in such a way that the maintenance will become easy, and other way it will maintain the system in such a way that the operation will become easy. So certainly, if we can do, this approach would be technically much more efficient from the perspective of operation and maintenance. So this is the kind of technical justification I see for the viability of private operator taking both the responsibility of operation and maintenance. Now let's look at the financial perspective. When I say financial perspective, it is mostly operation cost. If you look at our operation cost, most of our operation cost goes to work charge staff, almost 100% work charge staff, and we have departmental norms for the work charge staff. I happen to look at the force system in recent past. If you look at the data, the kind of operating staff that we have in an average over 30 or more operating staff in one irrigation system, compared looking at Sunsari Morang, Kamala, Khagiri, and Banganga. The maximum we have in Kamala, 103 operating staff, minimum we have in Khagiri, only 2 number. So all these operating staff mainly focus on the headworks and main canal. This is because that's where all kind of regulating structure, all kind of gates, all kind of supply system exist. So if you look at the analysis little bit, if you look at the number of operating staff per kilometer, you see that we have 1.46 operator per kilometer, and the cost comes out around 803 per hectare, and allocation is just something around 770 rupees per hectare. So around 800 rupees per hectare of operating costs that we are doing now. I mean, if we involve private sector, I see a lot of opportunity of reducing this operating cost. Certainly, I don't know to what extent we need to have all kind of operators throughout the season. If we have a private operator, certainly it will be cost effective. That is my assumptions. This is looking at from the financial perspective. Now, if you look at the maintenance aspect is a bit difficult here, because we don't distinguish the maintenance, rehabilitation, new construction, all these things we put into the one basket. So very difficult to say this is really a maintenance cost of an irrigation system. So summarizing the viability of financial aspects, what I see that canal operation by PIO will be very much cost effective. We don't need to have so much of operating staff, also all 12 months. And maintenance cost will reduce because and will be more realistic because infrastructure will be separated out. And another more important, infrastructure development under EIIP infrastructure, essential infrastructure improvement project will be more realistic because that will be separated out from maintenance. When we separate the new construction and maintenance, both parts will be very much realistic. And the recurrent cost will reduce drastically because if the moment we have a private operator, we don't need to have so much of engineering staff as for O&M. And in addition, the engineering staff can have base only in the regional office. So recurrent cost will reduce. Infrastructure development will be more realistic, maintenance cost will be more realistic, and canal operation by PIO will be cost effective. This is based on my very preliminary analysis. Now, look at the viability from the managerial side, we have positive and negative aspect. The positive aspect is that if you look at the department now, there are very, very, very limited people, they would like to go to the management division. So that is once you start outsourcing the management contract, so the engineering fleet can remain only on the central office or in the regional office and can take up the responsibility of the infrastructure development, which is one of the major roles. That is the positive aspects. And from the negative, there is one very, very serious negative impact because our irrigation system, we have been operating since for long time, though we don't have systematic practice, systematic canal operation plan or all these things, but our gate operator and Dalpas and all these things are knowledgeable. They are using their knowledge for operating the system. The risk of involving private sector here, we may lose this knowledge. This is one very much in negative aspect, and that negative aspect should be taken care, should be really taken into consider because these people should be there, they are the knowledgeable, they are operating system as of now. So this is about the viabilities. So if we agree on this, what can we do? What should we do? I mean, I think we need to, what I am presenting here is based on the limited information that I have. So we need to undertake a detailed study in PIO. Sometime back 2004, 2005, department initiated a proposal under World Bank with PPIAF. There is a public-private infrastructure advisory facility, a World Bank window. There was a couple of communication as the proposal was developed, proposal was initiated, and the PPIF was very much positive on that. So similar kind of proposal we can still work out with PPIAF or other institution for undertaking a detailed study. And what we need to develop specification. We have a contract specification, but we don't have management contract specification guideline regulation needs to be developed. And we also need to identify local institutions. We don't have such institution as of now. That needs to be identified. And what I think that it will be good if we can initiate some kind of action research in 2-3 medium scale irrigation system on pilot basis, to what extent it works. So that's all I need to say. I don't know whether I finished in 20 minutes.
Thank you,
sir. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Umesh sir, for a very comprehensive presentation. Hope we will be discussing on this issue in other forum as well in the future. Now I would like to request the participants to raise questions or any suggestions or comments if you have. Meanwhile, in the chat box, I have only one comment from Dr. Krishna Chandra Prasad Shah that PIOs can hire those experienced Jalpas. I think that is what Dr. Umesh Parajuli has been mentioning while he was preparing for this session. So if you have any quick comments, then I would like to open the forum for the participant. Before opening, I would like to request our Director General and the President of this NENCID, Sushil Acharya, to put his comments.
I think I can close this screen now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can close now.
Okay. So I how do I do that?
Sushil, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
सरले स्क्रिन क्लोज गरेपछि मात्र देखिन्छ
सरलाई
सर मैले यसलाई म पनि अलि अब यो यस्तो आइटी साइटीमा अलि पुरानो भइछु कसरी यो क्लोज गर्ने
सरले भन्दै गर्दा हुन्छ नि सर
र
भन सरको कुरा मैले सुनिराखेको छु सरलाई त
यो म चाहिँ
प्लिज प्लिज
ल सर मैले हटाइदिएँ सर
विभिन्न विकल्प अब सरले प्राइभेट इरिगेसन अपरेटरको एकदम डिटेल रूपमा प्रस्तुत गर्नुभयो यसबाट अब हामीलाई धेरै नुहाउ पहिल्यै डिपार्टमेन्टले एक किसिमले सुरुवात पनि गरेको रहेछ मेट्रोलाइज त भएन अब यसको जुन यो कस्ट एस्पेक्टबाट पनि यो उपयुक्त छ त्यस्तै सर्भिस डेलिभरी म्यानेजमेन्ट इफिसियन्सीको एस्पेक्टबाट पनि उपयुक्त छ त्यस्तै DWRI को स्किल स्टाफहरू डेभलपमेन्टमा फोकस हुन पाउँछ यसलाई चाहिँ गर्नु भन्ने धेरै पोजिटिभ कुराहरू एनालाइसिस गरेर सरले प्रस्तुत गर्नुभयो डेटाबेस सहित र अब यसलाई लागू गर्नको लागि चाहिँ अब केही एक दुईटा प्रोजेक्टमा लागू गरेर त्यसको लेसन लर्न गर्न सकिने स्थिति अझै पनि छ जस्तो लाग्छ र यो प्राइभेट सेक्टर भन्नासाथ अब अलिकति प्रफिट मोटिभ नै हुन्छ उसको एउटा बिजनेस हो त्यसबाट उसले कमाउनु पर्ने बिजनेस एक्सपान्सन गर्नुपर्ने अब यो नेपालमा चाहिँ पहिले सर्भिस सेक्टरमा प्राइभेट सेक्टरको इन्भल्भमेन्ट हुनु त खानेपानीमा केवल र अन्य इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर बसपार्कहरूमा त देखिएको छ तर यो इरिगेसन एग्रिकल्चर सेक्टरमा चाहिँ पहिलो हुने हुनाले अब यसका रिस्कहरू र यो कन्ट्र्याक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेसन गर्दाखेरि एकदम स्पेसिफिकली लेखेको कन्ट्र्याक्ट डकुमेन्ट अब त्यो कन्स्ट्रक्सनको त एकदम कन्ट्र्याक्टरबाट कम्पाइल अलि फुल्ली त्यो दिनलाई गाह्रो भएर हाम्रो क्वालिटीमा टाइमली कम्प्लिसनमा अरू कन्ट्र्याक्चुअल प्रोभिजन अनुसार दिन गाह्रो छ भने अब यो सब्जेक्टिभ म्याटर अब यो इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्ट्याक्ट राख्ने भनौँ धेरै सब्जेक्ट त्यसलाई अझ म डिटेल पनि गर्न सकिन्छ होला तैपनि त्यो कति गर्न सकिन्छ एउटा कुरो त्यो अरू कुरा यो अनसर्टेनिटी अब रिस्कहरू अब यो त्यसको अब पोलिटिकल सपोर्ट पनि चाहियो र यो हाम्रो जुन सोसियल सेटिङ छ अब त्यो किसिमले प्राइभेट अपरेटरहरूलाई एक्सेप्ट गर्दै गर्दैन त्यस्तै अब प्राइभेट सेक्टर चाहिँ अलिअलि अब यहाँको बिजनेस अन्तको के अरे अरू सेक्टर इन्भाइरोमेन्ट हेर्दा एकदम चाँडै नाफा खाने बिजनेस एक्सपान्सन गर्ने स्कोप खोज्या हुन्छ त्यस्तो अवस्था हुन्छ हुँदैन एकदम एट्र्याक्टिभ बिजनेस यो हो कि होइन प्राइभेट सेक्टरको लागि त्यो एप्रोप्रिएट पार्टी पाइन्छ कि पाइँदैन ती कुराहरू चाहिँ अनसर्टेनिटी छ तै पनि अब धेरै कुराहरू हामीले डेटाबेस सहित सरले राख्नु भएको छ एक दुईटा मिडियम स्केलका योजनाहरूमा सुरुवात गरेर यसलाई पनि हामी टेस्ट गर्न सक्छौँ जस्तो लाग्छ अब यसको एउटा एक्सप्लोर गर्नुभएको छ सरले अब हामी यो फर्दर एक्सप्लोर गरेर के अगाडि बढाउन सकिन्छ कि आगामी समयमा भन्ने जस्तो नै लाग्छ मलाई र यस सम्बन्धमा 28 पार्टिसिपेन्ट हुनुहुन्छ यस सम्बन्धमा आफ्नो इनपुट अथवा आफ्नो ओपिनियन अथवा आफ्नो रिमार्क्सहरू राख्न म सबै पार्टिसिपेन्ट्सहरूलाई म चाहिँ रिक्वेस्ट गर्छु अहिलेलाई मैले यति भने हस् थ्याङ्क यू
Okay, thank you, sir. Well, Umesh sir, there are some questions in the chat box. I think let's go one by one. One question is raised by Haridatta Paudel. He's asking that one problem seems that there are so many dhalpas working on daily wage basis, but working for a long time. How can we manage for them? And he has also put one comments that let's try a piloting work in a system. Would you like to put some few quick response on this?
I don't know. I mean, this if they are a permanent, if they are a permanent staff, so government has to make some kind of arrangement. If they are temporary staff and if the policy says, okay, we go for a management by the private sector, some kind of arrangement that we have to do. I mean, some of the things, some of the knowledgeable dhalpas, great operator, we need to retain. That probably we need to make an agreement with contract clauses with the private parties to retain our staff. But some of them we have to shift to the other project where we need them. There is otherwise we keep them also. We involve the private people also. We cannot go parallelly. There are other opportunities, other opportunities in other irrigation. We can shift them.
Okay, there is another question from Vasudev Lohani. What will be the role of government staff and WEA? There might be conflicting expectation, lack of management infrastructure.
No. I mean, I see there is a clear demarcation between WEA. WEA will still remain there because the private operator will manage only the main system and private operator will deliver water to the management interface structure as per a volumetric basis that we have been talking. So WEA will still remain. Private operator, there can be a tripartite agreement between the DWRI, PIO and the WEA. The water delivery to a WEA will be guaranteed by private operator instead of private operator will be working simply on behalf of the department. That's it.
Okay.
And engineering staff will be overseeing their job, and the engineering staff will be responsible for the additional development of infrastructure, rehabilitation, new construction. All that they will be doing their job from a regional office. You don't need to have so much of staff at the system level. This is my opinion.
Okay. He has also mentioned that I don't know, I think it's related to question also. What about the source control, that is site intake or the Indian control? I think he is commenting that the bureaucratic will be better for managing those kind of things. Well, there is another comments from Krishna Chandra Shah that he is recommending that we should use this approach, at least one system in each province, and he has also attached one sample format. I think you can look at the chat box and maybe download it for your future reference. There is another question from Dinesh Bhatta. He is asking that, just wondering if it would be better option than management transfer. To Umesh sir, quick comment.
Manage for what?
Would it be better than management transfer?
Management transfer to the private party. I don't know whether maybe I have not thought of that. A private party management. No, the private person will not come with a bag of money. See, this is the social sector, agriculture sector. They will simply come to earn money. They will earn money. They will earn money by efficiently utilizing the resources. So I don't know if we are thinking of transferring, then either we have to transfer to WA or transfer to the local government. I don't know whether it is viable to transfer to the private sector. This is an open area of a discussion. We can continue discussion on this. Private sector, transferring private sector, I don't know whether any party will be interested.
Okay. There is another question from Sanjeev Baral. Irrigation management is associated with several risks, from hydrological risks, availability of water, to disaster risk. How can we address such risks in the contract? And additionally, you have mentioned for the preparation of specification and guideline for doing this. Relating to these issues with uncertainties, how can we address for success?
I mean, uncertainty, the government has to take up the responsibility, because if there is a natural calamity, if there is a breach in the canal, if there is a washout of the infrastructure, that we take even in the civil work contract. Even in the civil work contract, the uncertainty government takes up the responsibility. So why not in the management? Uncertainty the government has to take care. And because and there has to be the contract, there has to be provision in the contract. Now see, the price is writing so much of things, and there is a construction hartal. Is it not because of uncertainty? That kind of uncertainty the government has to take. The major advantage is here is, see, the delivery of water will be confirmed. That is the one fundamental indicator, and the maintenance will be, the physical system will be intact. Okay, the DG Saab saying, how do we define the physical system as intact? That we have to develop an indicator, because we have a dimensioning, we have a mechanism of just whatever infrastructure we give them to manage. So we will get back to the same level. It is in the hydropower also. After the 30 years, hydropower has to give back to the plant to the government in operating condition. So similar kind of condition we can build there, but the risk has to be taken care by the government. That is in my opinion.
Okay, there is another one acknowledgement as well as a question raised by Dr. Santosh Kaini. Thank you, Umesh sir, for opening the avenues in the operation and maintenance of irrigation schemes. In addition to canal operation and maintenance, PIOs could suggest to the farmers when to irrigate and how much to irrigate based on local conditions.
Yes, that is possible. Yeah, that is another aspect. So that's why I said. That's why I said maybe it's a tripartite agreement between PIO, WA, and the department will help looking at those questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there is one comment from Dr. Kishan Chandra Shah as well. Management transfer to whom? I think he is relating to our previous question. The Water Users Association to whom we transfer the management became profiteering contractors at the cost of irrigation service, sadly. So I think this is a comment from his side. There is another question from Ronak Malla. I think he's Roshan sir. A single system is operated by two entities, PIO and Water Users Association at different levels. Can we guarantee overall coordination for successful operation of the system as a whole? Okay, this is a question.
No, this is this is how we are doing now. Even now, this is what we are doing. The main system is being managed by the agency, and the up-down system is being the system at the downstream is being managed by a WA. So in this case, WA, in this case, there is a coordination being established between agency and the WA. So the private operator is simply coming to manage on behalf of the agency. The department still remain there. So there will be a tripartite agreement. Why can't it function? Now, I'll give you a very simple example. Our department building, anybody who enter into the department building, everybody says, oh, says such a nice building. Is it not managed by a private party? If that small example can be done, why can't our canals be managed by a private party?
Okay.
Simple things.
Okay, these are the questions.
I mean, let us undertake further study. This is a very preliminary things. We will undertake study, and there's some more issue has to come. Yes, so we need to solve. We need to look at more on these things. Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I think these are the questions that has been raised in the chat box. I think you have responded all of them, and I believe that this is a very good initiation from the NENCID to start discussing about the possibilities, explore as well as exploring the possibilities of involving private sector in the management aspect. And for a couple of months since we were drafting policies and as well as act, we have been discussing a lot on these management aspect. We believe that we have reached a certain level of confidence in the development part, but still many aspect is yet to be covered through the management part. So the role of private sector involvement in the management would be a good initiation to be discussed, and maybe we can pilot it in the future if we can make a very good consensus.
Before initiating piloting, let us have a bit more study and see where we come into this.
Okay, thank you, Umesh sir, for a very comprehensive presentation. And with this, I would like to thank all the participants from the NENCID side. Before we conclude this session, I would like to make announcement for the next session. So, can you see my slide, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay, in the next section, we have a presentation on cluster-based groundwater development for year-round irrigation, potentials, learnings, and way forward. And the session will be, the speaker for the session will be Dr. Divyarata Kongsagar. Dr. Kongsagar is a hydrologist by profession. He was with then Department of Irrigation since 1991, took early retirement from the government service from the position of superintendent hydrogeologist in 2008. He has a wide range of experience in various capacities in groundwater resource investigation and development, and in water resource policy, planning, and management. He contributed in the formulation of water resource strategy of Nepal in 1996. Earlier, he was associated with the Department of Mines and Geology as a geologist and conducted research in the field of regional geology of Nepal, Himalayas. He has worked as the executive director of the South Asia Consortium for Interdisciplinary Water Resources Studies based at Hyderabad, India, and directed the South Asia level regional capacity building in integrated and interdisciplinary water resource management projects. The Crossing Boundaries Project, team leader of preparation of long-term vision of Nepal's water and energy sectors, Vision 2050 for Water and Energy Commission Secretariat, and the team leader of the facility management and capacity building team for the ADB-funded GON project, Water Resource Project Preparation Facility, WRPPF. He was the coordinator of the newly started master program in interdisciplinary water resource management at Nepal Engineering College and a visiting professor for the same program from 2011 to 2018. So we request all the participants to join us in the next session, which we'll make announcement shortly. And if you want to contact us, you can contact our office at Department of Water Resource and Irrigation in the email that is mentioned in the presentation. With this, I would like to thank everyone for the presentation and sign out from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.